Hey, peace, peace. Hope everybody's good, man. Um, I wasn't gonna do no videos, but I was, skimming through the YouTube universe, and I came onto the TikToks. Hey, shout out to him. Not trying to be weird or trying to be a clout chaser or no problems with nobody. Matrico, I think his name is. I think his stuff is pretty cool. He be showing TikToks and everything. But this one TikTok that he said, that he showed, it caught my interest. I just want you to listen to it.
About the span of 3 months, bro.
Maybe this is why it's illegal for us to communicate with dolphins, because they can actually speak words, and they want us to think that we're the only intelligent species on this planet.
I don't understand why you have to pay to live on a planet you were born on. I mean, it's such a simple question, and it's haunted me ever since. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Ask yourself that question. Why do we have to pay to live on a planet we were born on? And who are we actually paying for the privilege of being alive here? Who made them the boss? Who put them in charge? You know? Think about that. We're looking at a war over water, when instead of feeding the military-industrial complex, we could be building desalination plants all over the world, so everybody could have water, so they could grow crops. But are we doing it? No. I wouldn't want to do that. Why would we want to empower people to grow food and take care of themselves? Then we can't control them. This is what I'm talking about.
The only reason why they're still in power today is because we've been brainwashed to accept it. If not, then people like King Charles would have been polishing shoes for a living. Anybody know?
Did y'all hear that? And that's just joking, right? Sorry, I'm eating my chips. I didn't want this to be kind of super serious. I just wanted to kind of just be like, just something to talk about. I'm kind of like into the sci-fi stuff. I follow Astro Legends. I don't know if you've ever seen the YouTube channel. They talk about extraterrestrial stuff, and I'm not trying to be weird or go way out of left field, because I do believe in spirituality. But to be honest, for us to really believe that we're the only beings in existence is kind of crazy, right? So, but it's still not far-fetched from the spirituality things. And like I said, it's it doesn't go too far off the polarities of what we deem as up and down, left and right. You have this, right? Right? You have this. You have up, down, left, right, right? But then it's the center, right? So you have your north, south, east, west. And then, like, if you into math, it's the positive and then the negative spectrums of the same, right? Same image. You have your positive end and then you have your negative end, right? You want to try and find yourself in the middle, right? And that is a cross, right? That is a cross. Now, I met a man when I was in Florida. I'm being for real now. I'm going to talk frankly, and I'm going to be real with y'all. Talk about a whole bunch of stuff. I don't really talk about a lot of stuff. And it's like the Truman Show. Y'all listen to anything that I say anyway. Right? I met a guy that said his name was Emmanuel. right? How many of you guys knew that there were two Jesuses? So there was like a real Jesus, and then there was like a false Jesus, like a false prophet. How many of y'all knew that they were different prophets that went by the same name? How many people knew that there were 7 Cleopatras? Which one is the famous one? Which one is the one that saved her people? Listen, like I said, listening to the Astro Legends. Yesterday, one of the episodes I was listening to, they were saying that they were reptilian queens. Now, the reptilian queens, I guess, are different from the regular reptilians. Reptilian queens, they live for millions of years, and I mean millions on top of millions. They're really old. In the same TikTok, a guy said that different religious groups were started by extraterrestrials. This is something to think about. Not to be disrespectful. For example, on Astro Legends, if you guys know Anu from the Anunnaki story, he had a brother, right? And his brother, it is rumored to say that he started Islam. What we know as Islam today. He's the famous face on Mars, because he passed away on Mars, and they put that face there to honor him. But apparently, he was resurrected by his son, and then he eventually made his way to Earth. I don't know who these people are that control the stuff. Like I said, this is not no insightful thing. This is just something that I just seen, and I was just reacting to it. But it's a good question, though. Who are these people? What gives them claim over certain things? We go along with it. We do. Realistically, we do. We go along with it. The question, the thing that I ponder about sometimes, and I know that people are weird and people are, this is a matrix and we all going with the flow. We don't want to just, like, I remember when in the Matrix movie, Morpheus said that the most dangerous people are the people that are still plugged into the matrix. They don't want to let it go. Right? He said those are the most dangerous people. Right? Because you cannot force them. Right? But I understand it. I understand the makeup of things. Like, you get educated, you go to school, and you eventually get a career. You fall in love, but there's things that could shake up your reality. In the same TikToks I was looking at, they were showing you structures of old buildings that they said you literally change the fabrics of reality around us. Like they could literally be frequencies right now that could be blocking our eyes from seeing real stuff. Like, for instance, if reptilians were really walking around us, there's frequencies that are up for us not to see the reptilians, for them to look like they're real, like they're human beings. Changing the fabric of reality around us. Now, if those frequencies were to fall and then we start to see them, it'd be a whole different ball game. All right? We're probably not gonna feel so comfortable about the matrix that we're in. But right now we're comfortable, so we're plugged in. We have no problems. See, it's kind of like it's kind of scary when you think about like the Bible stuff. It's kind of like how far, if these are reptilian aliens or demonic forces or negative, they're in the negative spectrum of things, right? If they're in the negative spectrum of things, how far can they push humanity? And then amongst us as humanity, who did they create? Because they feel like they have rights to us. So they probably created their own, just like you say, just like I said, that there were several Jesuses and several Cleopatras. They probably were several Adams. Maybe who we know as Lucifer and the devil, Satan, he probably had his own Adam and Eve. Right? So he has his own bloodline of humans. And to him, like, he's like, or he or she, whatever. Let's be honest. He or she. Because it's a spiritual thing, but in the physical, they could be a man or a woman. Right? Masculine and feminine energies. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit too. If I don't forget it. Dang, I didn't want to miss my point. But yeah, Lucifer could be like, I have rights to these. These are my humans. These are my offspring. These are my beings. I can do whatever I want with them. I can enslave them if I want to. I can tax them if I want to. I can make their life miserable if I want to. I can eat them if I want to. I can drink their blood. Suck on their energy force, their life force. Right? Make them go to work and pay bills. And then see how far I can push them before they push back. Or see if they rebel. And then, if they get crazy, then I'll drop a bomb on them. Or I'll poison them. Or I'll spray chemtrails. Or I'll poison their water. Contaminate their food. It's weird, folks. This is the realities that we kind of like have to... This is not a sci-fi. This is real. This is not a sci-fi thing. This is real. And then we are then looked down upon by these beings that feel like they're superior to us because of the fact that they're not human. They've been living a long time. They lowered their vibration to come to the third dimensional realm. Remember, these are spiritual beings from another dimension. So they had to literally lower their vibration to come into the physical realm, to come into what you know as a 3D realm. That's why I tell y'all, some of these people that are around, no disrespect, that are on the street, that are like addicted to drugs and all that, those are like, they could be entities from another world coming to experience what it's like to snort cocaine, to do heroin, to do drugs. I'm being for real. I'm being honest. Because in the other dimensions, they don't have those luxuries. They don't have those drugs. So they want to feel what it's like in the human body to experience these things. All right? And then going back to the masculine and feminine energies, it is said when men are getting older, they start to produce estrogen. That's why you see certain men become more soft and timid as they're getting older. And it says that women, they start to produce more testosterone as they get older. That's why you see more women become more masculine and kind of like more dominant. These are unbalanced hormones, I guess, in the body. And if it's not careful, like it could get kind of crazy. I don't know, because sometimes I'll be looking at old couples and I'll see like the wife just appears to be more aggressive than the husband. But this could be because the lack of testosterone in his body being produced. That's why you have things like ED and I hate to say it, but sometimes you see certain women desire to be with other women when they get older. But this is my question though. Are these the original humans of what we know as Adam and Eve from the Bible story? Or is this from the spectrum of things, is this Lucifer's or Satan's, the devil, is this his children? So you have God's children, and this is real, folks. We have genetic splicing and genetic experiments that's been going on for a long time. So we have to be honest with ourselves and not lie. We have to be realistic and really understand what is going on around us. There is a strong possibility that there is the children of who we know as the Creator, the children of God, the children of the light, and then you have the children of Lucifer, the children of the devil, the children of the darkness. All right? Based on the cross. You have your positive, your negative. You got your positive and your negative. All right? So we could have several species of humans walking the plane, walking Earth. And then on top of that, we're told that extraterrestrials made deals with governments around the world. In the Astro Legends video that I be listening to, they talk about galactic slavery. Folks, we don't know what's happening around the world. But I guarantee you, and I made a comment about it, if you go to some of them Asian countries, they don't know about democracy. It's a lot of dictatorship over there. I'm not trying to be disrespectful and rude or mean, but it's the truth. Those people are ruled under an iron fist. Folks, I went to Iraq. When Saddam Hussein passed away, those people are still afraid of him. So the realistic thing about child labor and like I just ordered my gems. I hope that no children were hurt or harmed in the mining, or no men or got injured in the mining of these gems that I'm ordering from different places around the world. I hope they weren't being forced to do so because of child labor and slavery and unjust work conditions, not being safe, not being healthy. And they don't have health insurance in some of these places. And I'm not taking anything for granted. All right? But there's certain things that we like, we look as a luxury. Certain people around the world, they don't get those experiences. Most of the world is based on dictatorship. Do you want to join them? Do you want to have a dictator? Imagine if who likes mobster movies? Imagine if Scarface was a dictator or a president. He'd be like, hey, Mr. Whatever, Mr. Scarface, the prime minister for this country's on the phone. Tell him I'll call him back. Can you imagine that, folks? This person's in charge of you. Isn't that scary? Around the world, they are ruled under an iron fist. Do you want to be ruled under an iron fist? Listen, I don't want to see another Nazi uprising. I don't want to see Adolf Hitler again. I don't want to see concentration camps. I don't want to see that stuff. That's crazy. You might as well take me off the planet. Universal Creator, please take me off the planet. I don't want to be in no concentration camps. I'm not going to do it, man. So then you have reptilians producing possible hybrid human beings. You have the Greys who are mixed with reptilians, possibly producing hybrid human beings. Who are these people? Who gave them the rights over Earth? And then rich people get to sit around and laugh and tell you about human population. They're rich and they get to laugh and tell you about how they plan to eliminate certain populations. They laugh about this stuff. And we sit down and watch it like it's cool. These people get to sit around and talk about what they're going to do to us. Ain't that crazy? Billionaires. This one guy said, he said, I want to get more souls off the planet. I'm like, is this guy God? He said, I want to get more souls off the planet. So to these who are possibly reptilians, because of the technology and the frequencies that are up, that we don't see them, right, for what they truly are. They could be literally aliens talking to us as though they are dictators of our lives. They control us. They see us as less than. They see us as slaves. To some of them, I guess they see us as food or an energy source. In the sci-fi world, these things are real, folks. I told you, some of you guys will never get the opportunity to travel the world and see what other people are going through. You think their life is hunky-dory. Some people are going through really weird stuff. But like I say, and I believe, and I know this in my heart, the universal creator sits high and looks down low. And he sees all this mess. It's crazy. So I'm going to say this to you. Get off of your high horse and think about what's really happening around the world that can affect us. The world is mostly under dictatorship. Do you want to join them? Do you want to have a dictator? No more freedoms. One person tells everybody what to do. Like Adolf Hitler. Or any of your current leaders around the world. Because most of the world is not free. They're not free. They don't get to have a TV show where they get to make fun of their political leaders. There's no Saturday Night Live in Russia. There's no Saturday Night Live in China. I don't think there's any Saturday Night Live in any Arab countries. Something to think about, folks. All right, man, I'm done. Be good. What's your reality?